Welcome to Talk About Tatooine. I'm Andrew.
I'm Nathan.
And we are twin brothers here to bring you what's new in nerddom and give colorful commentary on our favorite subjects. Welcome to our cantina. Grab a drink and settle in as we set course for realities beyond our own.
Welcome, everyone, to another interview episode where we are very excited to introduce a very fun and exciting streamer that we have actually followed for quite a long time now. And hopefully you guys know him as well. We are interviewing today Cheesy Dad on the podcast. Cheesy Dad, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing golden. How are you lads doing?
Doing fantastic. It is a Friday. The work week is done, and we're going to the rodeo tomorrow.
You're going to the rodeo?
Yes. So I live in Western Washington, and we do a big fair every fall, and we have like part of like the national rodeo circuit come through.
Oh, do they have the rodeo clowns and everything? Like, are we talking like all things Americana, like nostalgia, like you see in all the movies?
100%. We've got the clowns, barrel racing, horses, bulls, everything.
I'm jealous. I need to see that.
It is.
I just haven't lived in a state that does it. My God.
What state are you in?
I'm in Michigan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Can't you tell by the Michigan accent of mine? Jeez.
Oh yeah, totally nailing it down with the British American Michigonian accent.
Yeah, it's definitely Midwestern. You can't tell. Jeez, man, I give up. I
love that. I love that. Fantastic. All right, sir, please give our listeners just a little bit of a few fun facts about yourself, as little or as much as you'd like to share.
Sure. I go by Cheesy. I'm the Cheesy Dad. I stream on Twitch. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and now officially Sundays. Sundays I bring on my son, Little Cheez-It, who streams with me. By day, I'm a theater teacher. By night, I'm a married husband with 3 kids and 4 cats, and a whole lot of randomness.
Love it.
So, yeah, all good things. I love playing video games. I love building Legos. Love hanging out with the family. That's really me in a nutshell. I mean, without like going through like my blood type or anything like that.
We get to blood type and social security number later in the episode.
Oh, okay, good, because I do have that written down. So.
Oh, sweet, excellent.
Yeah,
you can just show that up on screen if that helps. So,
yeah,
awesome.
So, do you direct at your school that you teach at?
Yeah. I'm actually the chair of our theater department. And I also am the artistic director for a youth theater. So it's all student related.
Holy smokes.
I teach students who are 4 years old all the way through adult.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So we're connected with a traditional school during the day. And then at nighttime, we open up to the public in the community.
Very cool.
For theater classes and stuff too.
This is a little off script, but what's your favorite show that you've done? Either play or musical, doesn't matter.
Oh man, there is one show called The Pillow Man. It's the only play that has given me nightmares. Like there's some plays I love because they're wonderful and they're beautiful, but that one always comes back to me because it really showed me the power of theater when just the words of that show gave me some nightmares. So.
Oof. Oh gosh, the title, I like just Googled it real quick and it's a little creepy. Like one playbill came up and I'm like, ooh, nope.
Yeah. But then there's things like The Boys Next Door, which is a wonderful story about special needs gentlemen living in a group home, which is wonderful. Like Nathan Lane was in a Hallmark version of it, as well as Mr. Noodle. Which were the original Mr. Noodle, not the secondary Mr. Noodle. Those are my 2 favorites, but I just love personally. So
love that.
That's awesome.
So as a Twitch streamer, you stream all sorts of things. I have so many notifications that go off on my phone every single day, every single hour. But the Cheesy Dad streams on Twitch is one that I make sure I have highlighted. So that way, even if I'm not able to like actually watch him, I've almost always got it up on my phone if it's got juice. But being a Twitch streamer, what originally got you into gaming as a whole?
Yeah, what got me into it originally was COVID.
There you
Plain and
go.
simple. I was teaching theater, and then around February, March, we were getting ready to open a show. COVID hit. We did one weekend of a show, then we shut down. And so as soon as that show, I mean, we literally opened it. I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're closing it too. And then everything had to go online. And my job is to teach, is the education side of our organization. And it was very quickly figuring out, how do we do this? And of course, Zoom exploded and like, yeah, we can go on Zoom, but how do we take it beyond that? What's the next steps?
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, I wanted to learn, I needed to teach myself these things, so I started teaching myself audio and video. I started with a Mac Mini, and when I was doing that, I came across, well, shouldn't say I came across, my good friend Wolverine Guy Kev, that's his Twitch name, was a streamer, and I was intrigued by that, and I went to watch him, and I was like, oh, there's some application here to how I can use this to help teach my students. From everything down to green screen to bringing in sound and all that. So that was the original source of how I got on Twitch. And I wasn't a gamer per se. I'm a very casual gamer. Very I love my PS2. I still have my PS2.
Yeah, there you go.
My PS2 and Tony Hawk is what got me through life. And I was like, well, I'm not going to really jump online. I had my Mac Mini. That's what I was streaming from originally. There wasn't many games I could do from my Mac Mini. Well, I like to call my cheesy Mac, I should say.
Nice.
So my daughter at the time was very young, and so we would do streams together, and we would do like minute to win it games on there and just have fun. And it was a blast as we were trying to learn that. And then she was like, no, I don't really want to stream no more. I was like, that's not a problem. I wasn't going to push her to do it. And so I started doing it by myself and started to try and find my footing in the gaming world. And then started to come across some really good friends who helped me figure out all the behind the scenes things. And the rest, as I say, is history. Continually changing, continually adding to what I do on stream. But that's the original behind it, is COVID got us in here. So
did you ever go back? So the show that got canceled by COVID, did you ever go back and I guess re-release it, for a lack of a better term? Did you ever bring it back to the stage?
No, because the one thing with theater, with shows, is once, specifically in how we're doing it, you get the rights to do the show for a certain time. And then once those are up, you have to reapply and things like that. And we had casts from all over the country, and their contracts went to other places. So no, we got one weekend out of it, and unfortunately that was it. So we weren't able to go back to that show. So
that is very unfortunate. What show was it?
Very much so. Very much so. I mean, well, one thing, when we had one of our actors was from Canada at the time, and we were concerned that we weren't going to be able to get him across the border back, because I mean, when everything shut down, it shut down, and we're like, we got to get him home.
Yeah.
So
just trebuchet or catapult him over one of the Great Lakes. No problem.
Well, we had a rubber dinghy ready.
Good.
We were going to paddle him across. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not that cold in Michigan in March.
No, not at all. No, it's easy peasy, right? We all come here for the suntans. So
that's what we think of when we think of Michigan.
I'm glad you do. It's a wonderful sunny state.
Yeah.
No snow whatsoever.
No, not a drop. No. I got married in March, and we ended up taking our honeymoon in North or Eastern Canada, so Ontario, and we took a train trip up, and it was the coldest vacation I've ever had, but it was still a ton of fun. So cold though.
Oh yeah, it would be, but yeah, like I said, it's fun. And that's one of the things I enjoy. Like when I grew up in England, we got like a little bit of snow, like a dusting, but we definitely would just call a dusting over here. But that would shut us down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't really seen much. Okay, so when I first moved over to the States, I was in Maryland, right? And the first winter there, and I'm old, so this involves Blockbusters. We were walking to Blockbusters, me and my mum.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
remember.
And it was down a hill, and we didn't walk down that hill. We just slipped, and we slid the whole way down. And we laughed so hard because we just hadn't seen ice like that before. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was great. I mean, we were just giggling, and everyone else was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "We're fine." And they're like, "Oh, random Brits, all right, whatever," and kept going
Yeah.
by. Like we were just loving it. So
That's amazing. If you ever get the chance to come to Western Washington in the winter, you will experience that similar terror towards the snow. Oh no, a slight dusting shuts down the entire side. Like we're notorious for getting about an inch of snow once per year in Western Washington, and it does shut down most of the school districts. It is like everyone has collectively agreed to say, hey, we're not going to improve the infrastructure around here, so that way we can all take a day in the middle of winter and all stay home. That's my running theory.
I love that. It's like, let's just go home and warm up. No one really wants to go out anyway. I like that theory there. Yeah, no, we should do it. No, we get like 10 feet of snow. We're still going to school. We're still going to work.
Yep.
So it takes a lot to close us down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When out-of-staters move to the Seattle area, they're like, you guys are such wimps. And it's like, hey, you're not wrong, but it's rude to say.
Well, yeah, but you know what you can tell them? You can tell them, like, yeah, we may be wimps when it comes to winter, but we have the buses that bend round corners.
Yeah, we do have very long buses in Seattle, and it's very strange.
I was there for, 5 days? I was there for 5 days, got on a bus, and I got so confused when we went for a turn, and I saw the bus driver. I'm like, wait, shouldn't you be in front of me? And they were to the side of me, and then I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
And there are seats on the hinge, so you can sit there, and it's a very odd experience.
It is a very disorientating position to be in, yes. I had to sit there like, this is too cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So moving to our next question, in kind of the same gaming realm, what are some future games that you're really looking forward to showing off either on stream or just playing with your family? Doesn't matter.
Oh man. All right. I am a diehard Little Nightmares fan. I am so looking forward to Little Nightmares 3.
Nice.
Normally we do lots of wholesome-ish and family-friendly sort of orientated stuff, but when I started playing Little Nightmares, the original, I was hooked. And I'm just excited that with Little Nightmares 3, we're going to get a co-op option.
Excellent.
Which I'm excited about.
Yes.
So yeah, and I've been talking to the Planted Gamer about that. About maybe connecting so we can play that together. I think she just wants to get back at me for what I've been doing to her lately on her streams. But that's definitely up there. The new Doom just looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
Oh, I hope so, because I'm going to be upset. I got hooked on that Highbeam TF. She's a good friend of mine. I met her the same time I met Wolverine guy Kev when I started streaming, and we've just kept really good friends. She is a Doom fanatic, and she finally got me to play Doom on stream, and I got hooked on that game too. So now I'm like, okay, yep, that new one comes out. I'm going to play that. I'm going to be there. But the one that's coming out soonest, I think it's going to come out in November. Lego is releasing their version of Horizon. That I'm excited about.
So a really good buddy of ours has one of the Horizon Zero Dawn Lego sets, and I seriously, I just stared at it for like 15 minutes. I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is something else.
I'm just looking forward to see what Lego themselves will do with that game.
Yeah.
So I think that's coming out in November. So that's I'm excited for that. And then it's always just what's happening next with Fortnite. My little Cheez-It, my son who streams me on the weekends, we love playing that together. And so Yeah, we're just excited to see what's coming. He has his guesses. He thinks Godzilla's coming. So we'll see if Godzilla does come. But that's his theory at the moment.
That game really surprises me with the longevity of its player base. I've seen games come and go in less than a year, so the fact that Fortnite's still going strong really surprises me.
Well, look at what Concord just released, right? And then PlayStation like, no, we're unreleasing it. We're giving you your money back. You're not playing this anymore. Within like 2 weeks.
Whoa.
So like it's another shooter game, and like obviously something went really wrong with that game. But yeah, it's longevity with that Fortnite and COD. The longevity of those two games in that style, and how they've continually been able to stay atop of their market is amazing to see.
Yeah, I've long said that like I'm not a huge Fortnite player myself, mostly because I play huge PvP games, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. I'm really bad. I was like, I can't.
You and me both. I'm the bait. Even for my 9-year-old kid, I'm the bait. Go over that way. All right. I got him. I'm dead. It's all right. I'll get you again. Like, dang. So, yeah.
I'm the same way. PvE is more of my speed. All of the teammates working towards a common goal.
Which totally tracks with how we grew up playing couch co-op together. I mean, we're twins. Of course, we basically grew up in front of an Xbox. So.
Oh, that was the Xbox your first gaming console?
Technically, no.
Yeah, technically, no. We had a 3DO for a very short while.
Oh,
and
okay.
we're actually going to be talking about that on our most recent podcast that we're working on. We're actually editing it now. It actually comes out on Monday. But there was an old Warhammer game that was on it, and basically we played it until the circuits fried. Like it just
literally
stopped
fried
working.
itself.
Yeah, so
that's the way to play it, man.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
that's how you know you loved it.
Give me 5. I need to go yell at the dogs really quick because they see another dog and they're losing their marbles. So give me just a moment. I'm so sorry for the interruption.
No worries, man.
Right back.
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
his dogs are bananas. One of them is a total scaredy cat. And just won't. It takes a really long time to like warm up to you. And the other just turns himself to a missile and will just launch himself at you. He's like, you're my new best friend. Like, I don't care. Like we had to like keep him away from like my grandma when she was visiting, like maybe 2 summers ago.
No,
and I was like, dude, you cannot be yourself around her. Please don't.
All right, dog. We're gonna have a quick team meeting here.
Yeah,
okay.
Team meeting. It's like, you're gonna stay outside, even though you're an indoor lap dog. You're going to stay outside while she's here because
either that or we're just going to duct tape pillows around every part of your body.
Yeah. Oh my God. He would go bananas. Yeah, because he's a mini Aussie, so he's just running 120% the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking crap about your dogs.
Okay.
He said they're missiles.
They are. Theo is a terrorist. So I have no defense for him. So I'm house sitting. My parents that I'm house sitting for have this room upstairs that gives the dogs an unobstructed view of the cul-de-sac. Unobstructed. There are some children trying to do good things, and they're trying to borrow books from our neighborhood reading library, which my mom set up. We helped my mom build this little library where you can like take a book, leave a book kind of thing. I
didn't help at all.
Andrew didn't help. He doesn't live nearby close enough. Anyways, bad
No,
son.
he doesn't do anything for them. I know. Yeah,
exactly. That'll reflect itself in the will. Don't worry. And these kids are just trying to get books. I'm like, first of all, super great. Awesome. I'm here for it. And there's 2 dogs barking their heads off at them. And I'm just like, they're trying to educate themselves. Stop barking. So they got kicked out of the room. All the windows upstairs are now shut and shuttered.
Look, they were going for the books they shouldn't be reading. They're just censoring them, okay? Like, no, pick up the science book. Put down the wizardy stuff. Get the science. Learn the real stuff.
There actually is some copies of Harry Potter in there, so that's for
Harry Potter. Okay.
So that's
Harry
where we're at.
Potter.
I do
Oh.
apologize for the interruption.
How dare you?
Andrew, where are we at this point?
Question number 3.
Fantastic.
Number 3.
All right. And I'll edit this out so it looks like nice and streamlined because
You leave all the embarrassing parts of me, so
I can leave some of my.
stinker.
Don't worry. I'll make sure to recall this so he can't just edit it out.
You're going to get the whole raw
Sound good?
file, so don't even worry.
Yeah, we'll send the whole thing to you.
Absolutely. So as we get into our next one, so we kind of talked about that, like COVID was kind of like your initial foray into gaming and streaming. With the games that you play now and what you're currently streaming, kind of like your current library, what got you into those titles specifically? We kind of mentioned Fortnite, Lego, and some other things.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the original games I was playing were very much retro games. Don't get me wrong, I love my retro games. But I started to feel there was more of there was a way to build community and get to talking to people. I mean, with being in COVID, you couldn't leave anywhere, right? I don't know why I have to quantify that. We all know that. So I started trying to find games where other people could join in, and that's where I came across Fortnite. Was doing a lot of Mario Kart, Mario Party, any of those kinds of games where we could get a lot of people in. We used to do game nights on there where the whole community could join in, and a whole bunch of different games. So I mean, we would bring in we would do like Mario Party or Fortnite, and then we'd switch to like some Jackbox or some racing games or some marbles. I mean, a whole bunch of things. And we made it to the point where, whoever won got a fake award, but they could say I had a fake award and we put it at the bottom of the screen for them, right?
Love that.
And then about two Christmases ago, I got very sick. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Missed Christmas, missed New Year's. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be coming back to stream or whatnot. And then slowly I was like, no, I miss it. So I came back to it. I was like, well, what do I really want to do? Because prior to it was really, well, what does everyone else want to do? Yeah. Not so much what did I want to do. And so thanks to some really good friends of mine, like Plenty Gamer, Whisperwoods Gaming, and Fantasy.
All fantastic players, by the way.
Oh,
super fun streams.
Oh, yeah. And really good friends. They helped me relook at things, and Mad Hatter Maddie too. And so I came back, and I one of the first things I built was the question mark Mario Lego. And if you don't know, it's like a ginormous cube, of course, like the Mario question mark. Mm-hmm. You can open it up. It has little vignettes in it. It's really cool. And it was a 12-hour stream because I couldn't stop building it. And it was an impromptu 12-hour stream. And I'm like,
wow,
I really like this.
This is cool.
This was cool to do because it's, I enjoyed it, but I didn't think anyone else would enjoy watching it on a stream. But people did. And I was like, so I did a couple of others just randomly in there while playing the games. And then I got raided. Then I met a gentleman a gentleman and his wife who streamed by the name of Lego Together. And I was like, oh, wait, people stream Lego building all the time.
That's awesome.
And he brought me into this.
So cool.
He brought me into this Lego community. I was like, oh, and so I was like, well, let's do that. I really enjoyed that. And it was the same things with the games. It was just finding games that I thoroughly enjoyed, whether it was co-op or not. So we would play a lot of Mario games on here. We would play Little Nightmares, and I wasn't worried so much. Originally, I was worried about building a very specific sort of game where you always knew what was going to be played. And now I'm like, you know what? No, I'll let everyone know what we're going to be playing. Mm-hmm. But it might be out of left field. It may be, we're going to play a scary game tonight, but I'm going to let you all know. Yeah. The hardest thing, honestly, was just making sure that the community knew which ones were going to be more geared towards adults and which ones my son was going to be involved in, or my kids.
Right.
And that was a little tricky, but now I think we've started to get into a good space where people know what nights those are going to be.
Yeah.
So I think I sort of answered your question. I may not have. I may have gone off on a random tangent.
I think you definitely did. You really centered on the theme of community that has inspired you to stream what you currently do. I mean, if it wasn't even for you, I actually didn't know Lego streaming was a thing either until I popped into one of your streams. You were building, I think it was something Mario related. It might have been. I can't remember a while ago, but for some reason your chat was going off about your specific your Lego remover pieces. You had like teal ones, and I've only seen them in orange.
Yeah.
And it was just this weird conversation about, I know, that was my exact, I was like, what is he using? And
I know people aren't going to see this. I'll show you what they're talking about. He's talking about these things.
We do have a video version
Lego
of the
removers.
Podcast, so so I had never seen that before, and I'm like in awe, and the chat is like, oh yeah, this is all normal, and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on here? And I was just like, this is amazing. Very much has inspired kind of, I have some notes written. We have like an entire like Google Doc of like everything we want to do. And I think I may have some notes here somewhere about potentially doing like painting streams. I'm not a good painter, but like basically having an open mic night for like just chatting with people and having an activity going in the background. Andrew and I are big Warhammer fans. Being from the UK, you might know a little bit of Warhammer. I know we're those people. So, but
I can't do it again though. If I get sucked in again, I may lose my family because that sucked me in big time when I first found it. Oh,
they just increased all their prices, so it's a nice deterrent.
Oh, okay, then I'm good.
Yeah.
No, Lego's already got all my money and then some. So no.
Our head athletic trainer at work is a big Lego guy, and when he got the position, his office slowly started to fill with Lego. So whenever he would come in with a new build, I would always talk to him about it. And he's got like lots of Star Wars ships and stuff like that. Like one of his newest ones he put in there was the Razor Crest, I think. And it was like one of the collector's versions.
Gorgeous.
And exactly. And so I was like talking to him about it. And he's like, dude, you should get into Lego. And I was like, dude, I can't. Like I have all of my hobby slots filled and I can't add another. I would have to lose one before I got another, mostly because of Warhammer. I'm like, my wife already puts up the fact that I have a decent amount of money sunk into Warhammer and paints. I basically have half of my streaming office dedicated to just a painting space. So,
and there's that. So you got Warhammer, you got the painting of the Warhammer stuff, you stream in, and you have a podcast. That's a hell of a lot of hobbies and money invested right there.
yes, it is.
So,
which is actually why we picked up streaming, because we were like, maybe we can try to balance this all out a little bit. But also we just found that like same thing is like we found that having that community was really, really fun, and getting to connect with some of our friends and just be really silly together was really fun.
No, that's awesome.
Speaking on the subject of family, as a father whose child shows up on stream, how do you handle conversations about things like online etiquette or parasocial relationships and internet safety?
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I love streaming with my son. And because I have got a lot of questions from people who pop in. Like one person got really upset with me, but I had my son streaming with me and was there. I'm like, I'm here with them. And they got really angry with me, and I'm okay with that because that's their idea, that's their fault. But it was a really good time for me to explain to them why. The internet isn't going anywhere. Social media isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's just growing in different ways. I mean, it's insane how quickly it's growing. I mean, as we're seeing now with, Twitch and other stream sites coming up, podcasts coming up, all that, it's not going away. So it's a way for me to teach my son now how to deal with that, so that when they're old enough to be on their own, they have this background knowledge of how to do it. We've talked about it before we go on stream. Like if we're playing Fortnite, my community knows they're not going to friend him. on Fortnite. If they friend him, they'll get banned, they'll get cut off there, and they're not coming back in my stream. They can friend me, absolutely, but they can't friend him, and he knows that too.
Yeah.
When we're playing online, whether we're streaming or not, he knows he doesn't have the communication to talk to strangers,
right,
on there. But when we have our chatting, we're letting those who I know, who I trust in, and so we can communicate with them. And if any of those cross the line, it's banned out. Bye-bye. So, and he understands that, there is people out there who are going to act nice who aren't, and
right.
He's going to hear words and hear things, whether he's on stream or not, from other things. So we're just showing him the safety precautions of, hey, here's how you turn that off. Here's how you don't have to listen to that. Here's how, to respond or not respond to those things. And we're showing him the streamer etiquette of, how we talk to each other, how we greet each other. He loves to sit down and will watch some streams with me. He has his favorite streamers, of which I'm only third, just so you know. I'm his third favorite streamer. He's cottoned on, but I'm like third. Oh, no. I like you just as much as the other two. No, I'm third. I know it. But he's now got to the point where he games with his friend, and I just caught this. He doesn't have his own cell phone, but he has my wife's old one, that when he's at home, he can contact us via text or messenger, right?
Yes.
I came down here. He had it set up where he messenger kid his friend who was playing Fortnite with him so they could see each other on the phone and play and talk. And I was like, okay, I've corrupted him.
He's like, well, obviously I need a camera. Like,
yeah, obviously I need to do it. So with him too, it's like how it's, as I'm learning, I'm teaching him the same thing. So we just rearranged the room. He helped me rearrange it. So it wasn't just, he helped me design where the tables went. And then I showed him where all the plugs went for the computers, how we clean them, all those things. So that as he grows up, he knows what to do if he decides to keep going down this track.
Such undervalued skills too, even the stuff on the back end. Wow. Very thorough.
Well, it's the thing is, if he wants to know, I want to teach him, and I want to teach him safely, right? If he's not interested in it, then I'm not going to make him do it. This is what I did with my oldest daughter. There was a time when she was interested in streaming, wanted to know about it. We did it. She goes, I don't feel like doing it anymore. Not a problem. You don't have to.
There you go.
And it's the same with him. And he goes, no, I really enjoy it. I said, well, keep going. If you ever change your mind or ever just feel like you don't want to, we don't have to. So it's a no pressure situation with him because it has to be. He's a kid. He's got interests, and those are gonna, ebb and flow. Sometimes day by day.
I think that's one thing I love about how you've mixed the host experience of Twitch with your specific community. Whenever you join a Twitch chat and you're the first time in, it gives you little rules that pops up before you chat, right? It's like, always be friendly. I can't remember what yours says exactly, but it's like, always be friendly, be kind and considerate. There's a few bullet points. And it's like, if you don't follow these rules, like, you read it yourself and you get banned. I really like that you have kind of those no nonsense rules too with other players. You're like, hey, this is like, you get to interact while I'm here. You have those boundaries set up and sound like you're pretty good at keeping them as well, which, like, that's the nice thing about Twitch is, like, if it's your stream, you're in control. And if somebody doesn't like something, you're like, hey man, get banned. Like, we don't have minors come into our streams. Like, the only people that are on our stream really are Andrew and myself. And basically, if somebody comes in and they're like being rude, or if they're trying to like advertise something like, and they're not supposed to be, we even have an emoji for it. We have a little ban hammer, so that when somebody comes in and they need to get out, like, our chat knows, we're like, give them the ban hammer, and everyone spams the emoji, and we just like kick them out real quick. There's been times where Andrew will be streaming, he's like killing it over on Helldivers, and I'll hear him say something about somebody in chat. I'm like making dinner. I'm not even looking at it. And I'll run over to my phone so I can, as a moderator, go ban that person and then go back to cooking. Like, it's so much. It's nice being able to have the control over that. So you get to experience ideally 90% of what you want to experience on your own stream. So
Yeah, and I think that's the coolest thing is that we get to set those rules. Like, my goal is just to have fun on here. It's to chill, chat, and chuckle. I mean, I say that all the time. It literally is the way there. I'm there. I want people to feel safe to be themselves in there, but also I want myself and my family when they come on to feel safe. So we have to have those rules there. We like to say we're wholesome-ish, because
I love that
we
phrase.
innuendo things in there. But we put our streams, even when Little Cheese is here, at an 18 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we do that is so adults feel comfortable to have fun and be silly with each other and not feel like they may be chatting with a minor without knowing it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And vice versa. And it's just to keep everyone safe. Everyone knows what's going on, so they can feel comfortable that way. And the other great thing, you were talking about moderators. My moderators know when Little Cheese It is on, the mods get a little bit more active. They're very protective of Little Cheese It. They couldn't care less about me.
I love your
Little Cheese It's on, like they've adopted him. So I mean, we have our command to remind people like, hey, this is family friendly today. Watch your P's and Q's, that sort of stuff on there. We have our little whispers we'll send off to people if we need to. And then just like my favorite is when like, no, and they've banned a couple of people, which they've come back to me after. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't be. Well, I didn't know if you wanted them banned. I said, look, I trust you guys wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
If you felt like it was ban worthy or blocking or whatever, I'm behind you 100%. I said, because this is our stream, you know what we want. And when I say we want, that includes the mods. They're part of that we. Then I have no issue. So, yeah, they're good peeps.
Yes, they are. I have a little bit of a random question for you before I actually get into my next one. What inspired the rubber ducky sub trophies?
Oh, the subby duckies?
Yes, the subby duckies.
I love my subby duckies, man. All right, so I wanted to, when people sub, it's just amazing, right? That people want to help continue the creation of what you're doing. And I wanted to find a way to symbolize and let them know that I appreciated them, but also at the same time, when I come down into my studio, but I can look and be like, oh my God, I have such amazing people and community members who are supporting what we're doing. And I'm admitting something now that my wife will kill me. When my wife first met me, my bathroom was rubby duckified. Nice. I had a rubber ducky shower curtain. I had a toilet cover. I mean, you name whatever could have been rubber duckies was. And about a year later, it wasn't. And I missed them. And then all of a sudden, I was trying to think of what to do to symbolize. And I was like, oh my goodness, subby duckies. I could bring them back. So we originally just brought them back as little ducks and put them up. And then I realized I could pull the squeakers out and shove magnets up their bum. And so we were doing it on my former dancing pole behind me. And then we moved over here and I realized, oh, that corner's actually got metal on it. Nice. So now they all have magnets stubbed up their bum and we can see them on stream and they're very colorful.
That's so cool.
And I love them very much.
Do you refresh the subby ducky lineup every month? How do you do that?
Yeah, usually I do it on the first of the month. This month we're doing it a little bit differently because we're all the funds that we raise on stream this through the Twitch payout is going to my wife's special education room. And so excellent. I'm just putting up there as a way for people to know exactly where it's going and how many, and this is just a way to symbolize how many people are supporting that. Because she teaches early 5s through 2nd grade special education students. And education doesn't have all the money in the world, especially in special education.
No, it does not. It's bad.
And they have they have very special things that they need to help them learn. And because she works with the younger ages, that consistently changes with the influx of new students. So this helps us get them some very valuable equipment.
Absolutely. Well, and my wife works, my wife is a speech pathologist. So a lot of the kids she works with are from the special education classrooms. And especially when you're talking about like new tech that the kids need to learn how to use, because, you know, we kind of mentioned earlier, social media and the internet's going to be around forever. So like these kids know how to operate technology. So like that's an awesome avenue for them to communicate. But holy cow, some of these like AAC devices are really expensive. Like we're really blessed in our school district that like some of those have actually gotten funded. My wife's been pushing for that over the last 2 years, and I think she's gotten like 3 to 5 of them, I think, for her kids. But like it doesn't sound like a lot, but like these kids can communicate pretty well with these for like with most of their peers. Without the device, they would have very limited ability to communicate. So like
exactly,
I love that you're raising money for that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we always, you know, I want my community to know if they're going to be lovely human beings and donates in any capacity to us, I want them to know exactly where it's going, you know. So each month we'll take pictures and put it up of like, hey, thanks you guys, we're able to do this month. This is what it's done to our stream. So they know exactly where those funds are going, you know. Because this isn't my full-time job. I have a full-time job. This is my love and my hobby outside of that way, and my way of just connecting with the world. And I'm just lucky enough that I have such a great community that are willing to support that journey. So.
On that note, what would you say is like your proudest achievement that you have completed in relation to your stream? That could be something you've raised money for, your first raid, first victory royale on stream, fun build, literally anything. Like shoot for the moon on this one.
Well, the one that comes to mind is the newest thing that just happened. I was part of a stream team who was we were fundraising for 10 days for Stand Up to Cancer. They had previously done it 2 years prior and raised about 77,000 over those 2 years, which is a huge number.
Oof.
And so our goal was like to go for 22,000. There was about over 51 of us who got together for this year's event. And we were like, okay, the goal is 22,000. At the end of 10 days, the group of builders, and these were we called ourselves stand-up builders, but they were brick builders, Lego builders and stuff, had raised $117,000
Holy smokes.
in 10 days for Stand Up to Cancer. All of us together. And that is insane to me. That, you know, a bunch of people streaming on Twitch, you know, have such amazing communities that we were able to raise that much funds for Stand Up to Cancer. And that just blew me away. So on a serious note, it was that. On a not so serious note, I finally won a round of Fall Guys, and I was so excited. Yes. I've been trying so long, and we're in a race, and we're getting near the end. I'm like, oh my god, I might be able to get this. And some guy jumped for it and missed. I was like, oh, it's me. So
there you go. Yeah, let's go.
I was so excited. I put that in my raid video.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Finally won it. So yeah, so there's the serious side of it, and then there's the fun side of it.
I love that. Fantastic. How let me rephrase that. How often do you guys do that charity event? A yearly?
That charity event is once a year. This is my first time joining in with them on it, and I'll definitely be doing it again.
Sweet.
It was a fun, really good time. Some great support from the whole team, but also just a really great way of it was set up properly that all the funds didn't even have to go through me, went straight through into the charity, which made it very smooth and easy to do. And then it was just a fun time of so we did things a little differently on my stream than other charities. Like normally there's incentives, like if you do this, I'll do X, Y, and Z. right?
Mhm.
I did it differently. For me, I was like, hey, we're just going to have a fun time. Yes, we are raising funds. If you'd like to give, great. But if not, I'm giving away during this 10 days. So we would do Steam Key giveaways, emote giveaways, brick giveaways. And that was all thanks to, I reached out to a few members of the community, as well as some sponsors and affiliates I'm connected with.
Mhm.
And I told them, I said, this is what I want to do. I said, I want to use it as a way just to give back to the community, whether or not they give. And it was great. My community gave, and I was able to give back at the same time. And that was lovely, in that I got the support of the partners and affiliates and sponsors, as well as some of the community members. Was fantastic.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really
without
neat.
Actually consulting Nathan, next time if you guys do giveaways, we'd love to donate to the pot.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
That's twin brain though. I would have agreed to that. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, that's really cool of you guys, because that's been my thing lately with I've recently added a few different partnerships and affiliates to the stream, and they're like, oh, there's this and that. I don't want the money. I don't want the kickback. I said, what I would like, if and when appropriate, is giveaways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I said,
Yep.
I need to give it to the community. The only one I wasn't able to do that with is my affiliation with Lego. So we're going to take the kickback percentage back and put that into giveaways ourselves.
Cool.
For that.
Yeah.
There you go.
But everyone else has been like, okay, you sure? I'm like, absolutely. So that's,
They're like,
that's
usually
really
people
nice.
don't say that. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Though.
yeah,
We
but
love.
it. Well, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without my community,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You know, I could just be here fumbling my way through space. But I like to have fun. I like to bring cheer, and I like to, you know, have some fun things. And sometimes they're silly things, sometimes they're big things. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun way of giving back. So.
Life's too short to not be a little silly, so I get that.
Oh my God, right? Yeah.
we call ourselves the Silly Goose Brigade. Like anyone who follows on Twitch, it's like, welcome to the Silly Goose Brigade. Like, because we're just a bunch of silly geese, like just having a good time, doing very unserious things. So
Yes.
So why take it seriously? Like, and I mean that in such a positive way. Like, yes, do things properly, but have fun, be silly, and laugh at life as you're going through it. Because holy smokes, we're all going to end up the same way at the very end. So let's have fun while we get there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We had even this morning. So I don't know if you know this. Like, we're also like full-time workers. Like, this is very much a hobby. I train soldiers as my job. That's like, I make sure that they don't break themselves. And even this morning, I had a bunch of guys who were like doing some exercises, and I was like, hey guys, I need you guys to do like this row in this stance. And so they're in this like kind of like hinged stance. And out of nowhere, I look over to the side, and there's 4 dudes who are like in this stance, and they all put their foreheads together, and we're all rowing in unison with each other. And I was just like, my athletic trainer looked at me, and he's like, that is the dumbest looking thing I've seen all day. And I was like, you know what? They're having a good time, and they're still doing the movement correctly, so I don't care. Like, as long as nobody hits their head on each other, totally fine. No worries at all. And then I had another soldier who was like, hey man, I'm actually watching Planet of the Apes right now, which weirdly enough, I am as well. He's like, can I show you my impression of like the Caesar walk?
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was like, oh no. And so he does this walk around the workout area like Caesar from Planet of the Apes. And I looked at him and I was like, dude, that is spot on. Like, that is so good. And he like walked me through. He's like, yeah, so I put my hips in this position, my chest in this position, and then I rock back and forth.
Oh my
And I was like, dude, I don't know what has gotten into these guys today. It must be just because it's a Friday, but they were all just feeling it. Like, they were just being silly.
That's awesome, though. That's how it
time
should
went
be.
by fast, and they had a great time, and nobody hurt themselves, which was great.
And nobody hurt themselves.
Oh,
I'm always here for the
it's the
silliness.
same. I don't train soldiers, in case you didn't know.
Unless it's part of a play, then technically you could.
I can pretend to. I was teaching a group of 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, so very similar to what you experienced today.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it's the same sort of thing, though. I notice how unserious life can be.
Yeah.
I teach those 4, 5, and 6-year-olds for an hour every week, and I leave laughing so hard with a big old smile on my face. But I find myself always sharing with the parents, like, "Yo, I need to tell you what your kids did today." I'm like, the only reason I'm telling you is, one, it was fun, but two, so when you're on the car rides home, you can try and figure out for me how we got there, because I don't know.
Context, yes.
Yeah, I know where we started and what I was trying to do, and this is where we ended, and I'm very happy where we ended. But if you can figure out for me how we got there, that would be great. So, yeah.
I love that.
That's so cool.
But we also had a lot of 4-year-olds sticking their heads together and rowing. So,
Absolutely.
Just for you, next week, I'll make sure they do their gorilla walks and tell you how that went.
Oh, I love that. Yes,
this is for your education and not at all for my amusement. Now go.
Not at all. But I'm seriously doing it. I'm not even kidding you. I will report back how that went.
Awesome. Let's go. This is going to be great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we have one last question. Oh, this has been such a blast. We have one last question for you. As an avid Lego man, give us your favorite and least favorite builds of all time.
Okay, so when we say Lego, in my mind, I take that to mean all bricks. Okay, because there's Legos, there's Mattel, there's other things. So, okay, my favorite build of all time, and there's been a lot, but the one that brought me the most joy, the best nostalgia, was actually a Mattel build, and it was Skeletor's staff.
Nice.
It is 41.5 inches long, and I love being able to pick it up and saying, "Until we meet again," and running away around the house. But it was
perfect.
it was such a fun build because it just reminded me of my childhood, growing up, and to have that nostalgia hit while building with bricks, right? Another childhood activity, just brought it all back to me. I was like, this is phenomenal. And it really hit me there. But I'm doing something that I truly enjoy and get to share with people.
I love that so much.
So that was, and that also led to then having to build He-Man's sword as well. So I had to have, you got one, you got to have the other, right? My least favorite, I'm building right now behind the scenes in Discord. I'm going to show it to you guys and then explain it at the same time.
What a treat.
I was gifted, I'm going to put that in quotations, the Michigan State Sparty brick build. I'm a Michigan fan, not a Michigan State fan.
That's very rude.
It was very rude. What makes now? So that's like, oh, okay, that must be why I hate it. No. I mean, yes, but no. It is the world's tiniest bricks in there.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
oh my gosh.
They are teeny. The instructions are horrible. And I build this sometimes in Discord, well, only in Discord, when Mad Hatter is the one who gifted it to me, when she's in there, so she can laugh at every time I swear at this thing.
Nice.
This build, it will be great, but holy hell, is it obnoxious to put together. So yeah, that's my least favorite. One of them.
Do you need a Michigan football helmet to balance it out? The Wolverine helmet?
Well, see, here's the thing. This is how you know Michigan's better. They've been sold out of that for months. I've tried to get it.
How can you argue with that?
You know which ones are available? Spotty. Just saying. Just putting it out there. The Michigan State ones are always available. The Michigan ones are always sold out.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
But I have a feeling I'm going to have a new favorite one soon, because in October, they are releasing 4 Fortnite Lego builds.
Nice.
And one of them is the Loot Llama, or as they call it, the Supply Llama.
Nice. There you go.
It's the Loot Llama.
It's the Loot Llama, and I am so excited for the Loot Llama. So, yeah.
That's gonna be a good
They're
build.
doing the loot llama, the battle bus, a peely in half, so half peely, half skeleton, and then a Durburger. So
That's
nice.
So
I
excited for
understand
those.
all of those references.
See, there we go.
We played a lot of season 1 of Fortnite before it was even called like part 1 or season 1 or whatever. Like we started when like the John Wick skin was like the like tier 100 battle pass reward. I'm like, that's the Fortnite I remember.
And we lost a lot. We lost so
bad.
many times. I think we maybe only got like 1 or 2 victory royales like ever.
Yeah.
Like out of like a couple hundred games. Again,
but we had fun.
It was very fun. Absolutely.
And that's the thing. It's fun. And being able to share it with each other, share it with my kid, it's a great time. I mean, it's one of the things that lets us know that gaming's a great thing. You know, yeah, we get a lot of people out saying, "Oh, gaming's not a real thing." Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a community. It builds communities. It builds friendships. It builds families.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gaming has a lot of negativity for no apparent reason. It is a wonderful thing when you look at it from a distance and be like, "Oh, these are all the things it does."
Mm-hmm.
So.
One of my favorite memories growing up is going to the arcade with my brothers and my dad and just playing video games, just getting a pocket full of quarters and just going bananas.
Yeah, on the pinball machine. Now, okay, I'm going to age myself. I am a few months older than Pac-Man. But
there you go.
I loved Pac-Man. I loved the pinball machines growing up. You know, I loved the Terminator 2 arcade game.
I know.
Yep.
Oh, that one.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, gaming has a connection to a lot of people's lives now, and a lot of nostalgia and a lot of good memories.
Absolutely.
I've been looking for and I don't know if this product exists, but it would be like a wireless joystick that you could plug into your TV and play retro video games. Because like I really want to play some of those retro games again. And we had something like that where it was like 4 different retro games. It was like Pac-Man, Dig Dug, like Galaxy Defender, something like that. And then the 4th one I couldn't quite remember, but it was like physically wired with the red, white, and yellow cords into the TV. And it was super, super fun. And I'm like, this would be great, but with like a whole arcade's worth of games. I would pay some serious dough for something like that.
Oh, those exist, my friend, and I will send them your way.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
There are tons on Amazon and
yeah.
other places. I used to have a few years ago. Remember when they came out with the mini Nintendo and the mini Sega Genesis that had like a couple games on it? I had a friend who modded my Genesis one to have over 50,000 games on it.
Holy cow.
Just swap out the hard drive. It's like, boom, there you go.
It basically had an external hard drive going into it, and he had rewired some things so it would turn itself into an emulator.
That's so cool.
But it was that's one of the, maybe I shouldn't say this because I don't think Twitch is allowing those, but that's one of the things I used to play on was the emulator at the beginning, you know, on stream, so we could play like the old school Batman. Oh my God, it's so bad. Oh, because it has the Mortal Kombat stances like this with people in it. And like, yeah. Anywho's, that's for a whole nother story. But yeah, those exist. I'll send them your way.
Sweet.
Thank you. Because I don't know what to search for. I'm like, I have this idea. And
I got you covered, brother. I got you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to spend an irresponsible amount of money on more video games.
It wouldn't be irresponsible. You feel a little bit of it. Yeah. That's the other reason I like the Switch, man, because of the old school games on the Switch right now. I'm like, so.
Excellent.
I got caught up playing Mario. It was a Game Boy Mario last night on it. I hadn't played in years, and all of a sudden the music hit. I'm like, oh, I remember everything.
Yeah.
All those nostalgia chords start playing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new Mario Party coming out, and I'm really excited for it. It looks really good.
It looks really good.
Like, I'm probably
Like
gonna have to buy that.
I played Wonder, and I was like, oh my goodness, I love Mario Wonder. And then they said a new Mario Party was coming out. I'm like, oh, I'm sold.
There you go.
Super Mario Party Jamboree is going to be the new one.
Super Mario Party Jamboree. All right.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Well, Cheesy, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I know we've taken a little bit extra of your time, so thank you for hanging out with us here today. If you would, let us know and the people who are listening when and where they can find you.
Sure. You can find me on Twitch at The Cheesy Dad. You can find me on X or Twitter or TikTok or any of the major social medias as The Cheesy Dad. I lucked out. My name was everywhere and available. We stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, and on Sundays officially now at 10 a.m. Eastern with Little Cheese It. We'd love to have you come on out and join us, guys. Just have some fun. We're all about family, fun, and friendship through chilling, chatting, and chuckling. We'd love to have you. So, lads, I appreciate the time and energy. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thank you all, everyone, for watching, and make sure you guys tune into last week's episode where we talked with Jefficus as well. We've got lots of fun interviews coming up on the lineup here, guys, so make sure to follow the podcast, follow on Spotify, Anchor, or even over on YouTube. We will see you guys around. We'll also be on Twitch ourselves several times throughout the week where you guys will hopefully see us playing some new games like Star Wars Outlaws and Space Marine 2. Until next time, everybody, may the Force be with you.